Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is the Terminator, build the T800, issue 50. It's not such a big thing as the number sounds, because this is 120 issues in this part work, not the normal 100, so we're not halfway. It feels like a milestone, but it's not much of a milestone, really. Yeah, when we get to 60, I'll do an overview of everything so far, but we're not there yet, so we're not, we'll carry on. In this issue, we have the usual mix of plastic, metal, screws, and a big bolt this time, big nut. So let's have a look through and see what we have. We have fitting the pelvis to the spine. Yes, this is the bit that previously on Build the Terminator, we built the pelvis and glued bits together and screwed bits together and fitted it all like that. Now this bit is going to fit to the rest of the monster that we're creating. Yeah, we've got, let's say, nuts and bolts and screws and things to do some affixing. So let's have a look and see what we're doing. We are starting with the metal plate. Apply super glue to the 4 hexagonal reflexes and then put the nuts in it. Why are we doing that? Are we not gonna... No, we're gonna be putting those in, maybe... Okay, it says to glue them in place. We'll glue them in place. I'm going to open the bags. I'm assuming that's because this is going to be on the inside and you might not be able to get to it to hold them in place if they should fall out. So, yeah. Unfortunately, the glue that I've been using, I put away because I didn't realise I was going to need it for this issue. So it's going to take a couple of minutes for it to dribble through to the correct place. So let's get some glue out. Again, we're going to have one extra of everything except for the huge nut.
Safe and child-friendly craft glue.
I have no idea what's happening. My Alexa started talking to me, but I didn't ask it anything. Alexa, stop. Thank you. I don't know why she's talking to me. I didn't ask her a question. I didn't say anything that sounded like I asked her a question, did I? I don't think I did. Occasionally she jumps in and answers questions without you wanting her to, but anyway, we'll ignore her for now. I think she's getting concerned because I'm dealing with other robotic life forms here. So she's obviously... how scary would that be to have a Terminator run by Alexa? Oh no, I've said the name now. It's alright, I don't think she's listening. I think we're okay. Right, so I'm just getting some glue out so we can continue with the build. I should have done this. I should have read ahead and seen that it said to glue the nuts in, but I didn't, because, where's the fun in that? If you knew what you were doing, then it wouldn't be nearly as much fun, would it? There's some glue coming out there. Not very much. Actually, what I'm going to do is actually just glue directly into these holes. There's only a little bit, just to hold each nut in place. And this is obviously an internal bit, so I'm not worrying about being a little bit messy and a little bit of glue going in places that I don't need it to be. So that'll do. That's the easy, quick way of doing it. Get that out of the way, get that out of the way, and I shall just drop in carefully to get them the right way round, because otherwise it's going to be a pain trying to get them back out again. We get the nuts in place, if I can pick them up. In there. There's 2. Third one. And the 4th. Good. Right, so we've got the nuts in place and sort of held in place with some glue for now. Now we need the big rest of him. Now, he is quite a big boy now. Oh. So, yeah, we've got the hugeness of him there. This is the bit we need to fix onto. So what we've got to do is get that the right way round. And that's just going to go up into there. Sort of like that. That way around or the other way around? it doesn't fit the other way around because there's these go onto there. So that goes on there like that. Okay, please note the fit and connection and stuff, and it says there, right, then put the nut on. So the nut's going to be what's holding this in place. Unfortunately I can't move the camera around enough to get you a good view because it's just too big. So let's get the nut on there. There we go. Or do we? Yep, that's on there. Let's just move his head so I can read it. After checking it's fully tightened, fix the connecting plate in place by tightening the nut onto the end of the spinal column as shown. If necessary, gently tighten with a suitable spanner or pair of pliers, taking care not to over tighten. So it conveniently says tighten it up a bit, just enough, not too much. You might need to do it tighter. So yeah. So I'm just going to use fingers, I think. So that will go in there. So you've still got some movement to that if you want to bend it, because obviously it's a spine. It could potentially move. So wiggle it around a bit and then try and tighten it up a bit more. There we go. That's as tight as that's going to be. I'm happy with that. Then we have the pelvis. So that's going to go onto there like that, with that bit forward, yes. And then we're going to be using the screws to go into those nuts to hold that in place. So this is all going to be left-handed because I've obviously put it on the desk this way round, just to make things that much more challenging and interesting for myself. Right, we've also got to go quite a long way in on the inside of this. So yeah, I might be manoeuvring things around again to try and figure out what I've got to do. Let's see, how's the best way of doing this? Any suggestions from the audience? I shall be using a pair of tweezers. You've probably got a better view of this than I have. I'm going to go down there because that's the hole that I need to go into. So I can actually see through the top rather than through the side. I've missed it. I've missed it completely. Let's try the other way then. Let's try getting that through there. At least the first one through there. With it not connected. That's where I'm going. So that one I should be able to line up quite easily with that nut on the inside there. Quite easily, he said. Yes, there we go. That's that holding that nut in place. So that's okay. That works. So let's do the same with the other one. That's going to be just as easy because it's right at the top here. If I can get the screwdriver through there, that should be able to join up there. About there. And I should be able to find that hole. It's around there somewhere. Oh, I dropped it. Yeah, this is a challenging stage. This is good fun. Who said it'd be easy? No, nobody said it'd be fun or easy, did they? Let's try again. I'm aiming for there. So that should be... Oh, no, I've slipped. There's where I'm aiming for, I think. No, it's not there. Right, I'm going to have to do this. Let's get rid of that screw from there. I don't need the loose screw in there. Where's that screw gone? I can hear it, but I can't see it. I don't need a loose screw rattling around inside him when he's finished. Right, I'll have to manoeuvre him and get that screw out and figure out how I'm going to do this. So I shall be back momentarily. Right, let's see if this works. This is trying to come up with an angle that you can see and I can see and everybody can do what you need to do. So I'm going to try again with a screw which is going to go into there. So that should be in the right place and that should be where it needs to go, and that should be able to tighten up. Yep, that's tightening, so that's okay. That's the front two done. The back two are going to be exactly the same but harder to get to, so I'm not going to do them on camera because you don't need to see me faffing around for ages trying to get into there and down there and through there and round. So take it as read that I've done the last two, and then I shall be back to show you the finishing bits. Right, so I've been in, I've tightened up the 4 nuts under there, so this is still manoeuvrable, but it's a bit more sturdy. The bottom bit is attached securely. Now the last bit that yeah, I need to turn the page. I didn't think about turning the page. Let me take the magazine out from underneath him and read the last bit. Basically it says this just pops in place using the 4 sections on there onto the back. So I need to turn him over anyway. So yes, that just goes onto the back. Yeah, that doesn't need to be glued or anything, and that says that's it. So let's turn him over. The trouble is he's getting very big and unwieldy and heavy, and there are a couple of parts, the big arm sections are only held in place by one sort of screw on each bit, and they're a bit I wouldn't say weak, but not as secure as I would hope. So manoeuvring around is never a good thing. So this is the last part that we're just popping into place on there, and it says it just pops in place. So it sort of does one side but doesn't the other. Let's try getting the other side in first then. It might just mean a little bit sort of sprungy plastic. Yeah, it must be together because it's all screwed together, but that's not a great fit. I can see where it needs to be, and it's almost there, but it's not quite there. So again, it's going to take a little bit of finagling, wrangling and manoeuvring to try and get that into place. Let's try. So that side goes in when that side's not, and that side goes in when that side isn't. There we go. Just a little bit of forcing in the right direction. So I don't think that's going to come off in a hurry, and that's back in place. So that's the back of him. I'm not going to turn him back over again because, you know, it's all just heavy and unwieldy. That is the end of this episode, this edition of the Terminator. Let me move the camera up and back a little bit and move the light back out the way to finish off with, as ever, a little flick through the rest of the magazine. Get to where we finished. There we go. The film we're talking about this time is I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. I have no idea. Not seen it, not heard of it. I know nothing about it at all. Strange looking. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'll be finding that one. I'm not going to bother with that. Real life cyborgs, about having chips inserted, which is an interesting idea, but I'm worried that technology is always progressing. So you get yourself, you know, all wired up, and then you have to change it to, you know, 2.0 version. So yeah, I won't worry about that. And then we have next week's issue, which is actually next month's issue, because this is the final of my delivery so far. We're fitting the pelvis panel and connection parts for the muscles. I assume that's the same we've just done on the back, but on the front maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out next time. I'll be back when this arrives. It will be a few weeks. By the time this video is live and comes out, it's probably going to be another 3 weeks until I get the next delivery. But keep an eye on the channel. You'll know when it turns up. I shall let you know. Hope you're enjoying yourselves and building along with me. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. We'll be back indeed next week. Well, not next week, but yeah. So thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.